Why, hello. Welcome back to City Skylines 2. My name is Dava, and today we're back within the city of Davesport. Now, today we have a little bit of an agenda with our main terminal in Davesport. I want to kind of redo the entire thing just to get a whole different feel of what it's going to look like afterwards, but also revamping our entire bus terminal station as well, just to give it more of a closer feel that way it connects to both subway and commuter rail at the same time. Because right now the entire terminal is rather compressed or hidden away, and the buses do tend to get a bit stuck. So we're gonna redo the entirety of our whole terminal front and decorate it a bit. So with that being said, let's jump into it. It's been a while since we've been in this part of the town, or rather city. I still have to finish up the pier, and that will come in a later episode, most likely the next episode with what we want to do here. But for now, I've had this marked for a while, redecorating our terminal front here. These staircases, or rather staircases, air quotes, they don't really fit the vibe. It was just something that I would use to fill in the area here. But instead, thanks to my friend over at Restless, I'll have his channel linked if you ever want to see it. He had given me the idea of rebuilding an entirely new bus terminal here. And with our pre-made bus terminal here with the building placed on top of it, sure, it's nice. It does use space quite well by placing another building on top of it, so I'm not wasting too much of the lot. It is quite hidden within the city. I'd rather put it somewhere alongside the storefront where they can access this area. And now that I actually have stairs that I can use from placing our previous staircase over here, it will be a lot more handy this time. Ooh, the traffic and a traffic accident. Oh my goodness. But yes, that's the entire plan. I almost forgot to do a little recap of the things that we did prior. Actually, let me go over that. On stream, we have built an entirely new yard here for the brown and future yellow. The yellow is a new train line that we had built last time. A circumferential line is what this will be. So yellow kind of branches off from the purple and red down through here and through our own little larger terminus. Not really terminus, but our little junction station right here. So yellow will meet at this point here. And I would want to make it loop around, meet up with blue, and merge with brown through an underground line through here that I have pre-built for future provisions. And just have both of them stop here and be their last stop, right where both the commuter train and subway train meet, and the yards being at the last point as well. That's mostly for what we did off stream. Now back on ooh, well, hold up, you may have noticed it before, but we do have these straight tracks here from our stations here. These are a special track that was given me to thank you to Tygon as well. A quick little shout out for Tygon, of course. Now there's no need for trains to be reversing on tracks. They could just go straight in one path. You could also switch the tracks too if you ever so wanted to as well. But now, with that being said, let's get back to over here. My main goal for now, or for this I should say, is to destroy this entire building and rebuild it, and destroy our entire front down here and rebuild it into something a little bit more inviting for the buses, especially because I want to have a separate bus road pass underneath here and have a series of roads as bus stops through here as well. I never really get to, or never really tried to do it before, so it's a good time to try it. Also, redecorating this building entirely. Delete this real quick. Redecorating this entire building, placing it with more of a building that you would see most likely in America. Usually these older buildings have a larger terminal or government look to their building, and with that I wanted to place the National Art Gallery as a building, and it almost fits the space above here. There are a few roads here. There were thoughts of me erasing this road entirely and just having just two big roads, Park Avenue and Shore Drive, pass around the train, and it's something that I'm still thinking of doing, and it just might happen, to be honest. Cars do pass here, sure, but I'd rather them go all the way across the side and then come back in, or have two larger points rather than giving them more access. It's a weird traffic thing that I just like to do sometimes, to just restrict their access, just for fun, really. But in this case, I do want to destroy the station. There's a lot of people here too. Also, remove a few lines as well, a few tracks, because as of right now, we don't need this many tracks in place. This would also help mitigate all these switches and turnings through here to make it a little bit more easier and actually use a functioning yard back here, because prior, they would get stuck and have to despawn every so often. You wouldn't see this conglomerate mess here. Not that it's a bad thing, it's just very bad for scheduling. You see here the green merges with the orange, merges with red, and they're both traveling in different directions, which gets very conflicting here. And you see here orange can go between here, but blue comes between here, and then they get themselves stuck in a specific pattern. So things like that, we just want to switch. Of course, we're going to keep the bridge. We're not going to break this. We're just going to rearrange all these tracks through here. So with that being said, let's begin. So for starters, we want to completely destroy this building. I tend to play this game usually on save, or not save, but pausing, but for now we'll stop this. I've been meaning to completely redo this entire section of track on this end for a while now, and this will be the perfect time to do so. Same with this side. This side has been causing me a bit of issues with trains respawning, especially when trains respawn in this game. Since there's no mod or anything like that to tell where trains can spawn from, like what yard, they tend to spawn from the farthest yard and drive all the way down my entire freight system and drive all the way back where they shouldn't be driving. Like areas like this get congested because there's always freight here. No matter where you see fit or how, there'll always be freight trains just driving around, and it's bad when there's just passenger trains just passing through here and just blocking the entire system. Yeah, but breaking this entire landmark here, we have a few buildings. Now this is the subway building where trains can access through the underground over here and meet the brown and blue line through here. We also have a way for buses, and I don't think I made a path for people to walk up here, thankfully, because let's be real, this is terrible. So we're gonna not look at that anymore and just kind of almost destroy the whole road, destroy everything that we built between here. And now with everything gone here, let's put down our station. I again wanted this to be shorter. Oops, not you. I wanted this to be quite short of a distance, and we're just gonna plop it. We're not gonna attach it to any roads or anything like that. We're gonna use the same station, but just make it not snap to anything here. Now the cool thing about this station is that, again, it is fairly modular. You can see here that actually if I put it outside bounds, the terrain on the upside will probably stick up. You can see here that I did place a little bit of a parkway down through here. Not really much of it, but at the very least there's something down there. If I place the station up here, it will bring that terrain upwards. Now I believe there is an asset in Sully's Discord that will give you the ability to force the terrain down to a flat point. However, here at this point, I don't think we'll need it yet, not until we figure out what we're going to do last. And we're going to use our National Art Gallery as our main building. This one we do want to snap the front of the building. And this one is quite laggy, but also you see here, it's one space off the road, the entire road, which is giving me another reason to kind of want to erase this section of road over here. And I think I actually will just do that. It's not as useful as it should be. There isn't really a necessity for it to be here. You know, let me just erase this. That way we could just get one road here, one flat surface, and erase the underside down here. We don't need this road as well. This road can actually descend down to this one, which means we don't need that one as of right now. So this will be our little front here. With our building in place, we can now use move it and just drag it in an orientation that we would want it to be desired into. So you see here, the center of the building is right through here. The building is off center, so I just want to drag it a little bit closer to the center, but also push it further back. Now it doesn't need full connection, but we just want it to at least touch through here. That way we get the walls and everything to at least not really match up, but just closed in is how we want this to be. Now again, we got to be careful to, you see how the front here is sticking through, the staircase is sticking through. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does kind of give it a little bit of character in the odd sense, but yeah, we don't want this to come through entirely. So actually, let's push it back quite a bit here, about a distance. And that should be fine. It's relatively hidden on this aspect here, and we don't have to worry too much about everything being you know, protruding too far. We just have to switch these tracks over, and ooh, everyone's walking around now. Ooh, that's a lot. We just gotta push all these things back a bit further, and then we'll see how this goes. But for now, this is gonna be our grand central station here, or Union Station, which I think would be a better look, especially from a little bit afar. It's a little bit more of a building that kind of stands out compared to before. And actually, there is one piece missing. Now, I know when you upgrade this building, it comes with a whole attachment on top. I actually prefer to have that back. So using the non-static ploppable buildings, I believe there should be, yes, there should be a clear empty asset here that you could just use to place these down here. And it almost connects. Let me just turn off snapping and just kind of put this within here. I can actually place it on the opposite side, but these two prongs here look like they can connect to the other side of the road over here. But let's just see what it looks like if I were to rotate this. It's okay. Just the stations just kind of stick out or protrude out to the far. I'm actually more curious to see what it would look like if I were to do this. Actually, no. If I did this, however, that might be a little bit weird. So let's stick with this one side here and just try to line it up. Once you place it down, let's actually make it snap to the road so we can just grab it and drag it back. Let's move it. Make things a little bit easier here. Make sure it lines up parallel, just like so. Now we have our entire cover here, our station, and now for our road fronts. Now, with the road fronts, I was actually just staring at this. Let me erase that. I was just staring at this, and I just thought to myself, why not have the buses pass alongside this road up here that looped around, and we'll descend down to here, and just have their buses kind of stack up over here on top of like a little balcony, and just place smaller buildings below. Now, in terms of buildings, there are a few buildings that actually do work, and that's the New York City buildings, or Northeast America pack. Commercial buildings that kind of do work because they are flat enough. They do have a storefront on the front as well, and they can as well almost fit the vibe as long as they don't overlap. Like this one here would be perfect, but if there is one that's a little bit higher level, like this one here, would be good as well. Oh, we can have like a little, this one could work. It's just a bit too tall, but buildings like these could really fit the bill of what we're looking for. So if I were to place the bus lane up here entirely, I would have a series of zigzagged roads where the buses can just drive in and then pull out and not having to get stuck, which would be quite perfect. So let's do that method. That might be a little bit easier, and then have a staircase placed between different segments. And yes, I think that'll work. So let's try this. Actually, before we go into a little time lapse here, I'm gonna push this building off to the side because I just realized this building actually has a little side path. I'm gonna put a little pedestrian path on the side here, and I can actually wrap it around and just make a little pedestrian pathway up here alongside the train as well, which would be quite fitting. So let's actually gonna push this over. Ooh, not you. Push you over to the side. Just enough space for a road to fit between there. This should be fine. I don't want a wide road, just a standard pedestrian road to squeeze between here. And that way I can remove these retaining walls to give us more of a quay-like wall instead. But yeah, with that being said, let's start a time lapse. We're gonna just place down roads and try to get down a little position for the buses. So let's go. And now that that's finished here, we have our little bus through our little station stops here. Or, not stops, but just locations. Just kind of plopped above terrain here. I wanted to put a main walkway between here using the staircases. As well as a, kind of like a little garden scape around here. And you will see that this building, the main building that we actually need, the actual station, doesn't reach the road. So what I plan to do here, actually make like a little, I always forget what to call these things. But just like have a road kind of come around, like a, almost like a taxi spot kind of, but again, I can't think of the name of what it will be called. But just a simple road coming across here, and then meeting back at his other host over here. Something kind of like that. Just a little, like, almost like a valet parking. I really can't think of the name, but something like that. And now the building actually fits, and now we have a whole functioning building here with the platforms working. Well, we didn't connect the tracks yet, but that will come later. Everything else, however, is fixed. So what I want to do now is actually work on a staircase and then actually decorating the storefront, or what's going to be the storefront just now as well. I just want to talk about what we just did so far. And also place different surfaces down so we can get the road to be a little bit more, you know, differently designed. It'll be hard to place surfaces alongside this end here, so we won't do that most likely, because when you place surfaces alongside the outside here, like when you want to place these tilings, for example, let's say you want to use the red brick, they do go and cover up the entire retaining wall here, which is not really good. So we just want to stick with one side tiling and then just go with that. So with that being said, let's continue. Oh, I'll also, while I'm here, let's actually move these buses, because I do want to make some space behind here and actually place, you know, a different kind of building. I'll keep this building, but, you know, place more things behind this area just to make it feel, you know, a little bit more fulfilled, if that makes sense. That being said, let's continue. And we're back with our complete station here. All we have left to do is really just build, or actually continue the tracks and actually place them down. As well as, I'm not sure what to do at this spot. I'm thinking of like a parking lot, but at the same time, the road is a little bit so strange, just a curved road, and the hotel's right here as well. A parking lot might be good, but we might have to custom make that. We'll have to see and find out. But for now, I'm gonna place trees around here. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna situate this spot. But yes, we just have to place the tracks left, and then just bask in the glory of our new little bus stop. I have moved the bus lines over as well and placed these bus stops with fountains. There are more decorums that I can place over here, but I will hold off for that for now. And I've also placed buildings alongside the front and another staircase I've added off stream as well, just to give them more access to these different sides over here. And I'm actually going to add back their crosswalk in this spot here as well. Maybe I'll even add it right back here. But yes, our staircase is now finished. Our little platform entries are done. I've also put a little train access here for our subway into this door here. These buildings are not usable. They're all ploppable buildings, except for this one on the end. This one is a functional building. The only reason I'm using these buildings, these non-functional buildings, because when placing an actual building down here, they tend to morph the land with it in a bad way. But with these ones here, they can just be shoved in here. They won't terraform the land or anything. Those all remain the same. And we're gonna have to figure out what to do with the bus stop afterwards as well. But yeah, for now, this is our little Grand Union Station right here. Let's finish up connecting the tracks, and then we shall be finished. I will see you in a small bit. And here we have our final project here, or our final product. Our newly found Union Station, only consisting of 5 tracks here, or 5 platforms. A little bit less than before, but the front is now much better than I had hoped for. And the station, oh, I just love this view now. Little storefronts in the bottom, our bridges in the background, the pedestrians walking along top here alongside a large monumentous building, or art gallery, which also serves another purpose because this building is actually a recreational use now, so that'll be just great. Our tracks placed in the back now are a little bit more, I'd say a little bit more organized. It may seem like a little bit of disarray in the back over here, but I'd say it's a bit more fashionable, if I'm being honest. So yes. With this being done here, I actually had a little bit of inspiration from this. I would spend a lot of my time on Google Maps, or Google Earth in this case, looking at Japan, since Japan has one of the more expansive train networks you can actually see out on the outside. So now I couldn't do that here. They're forced to cross here and then cross back over. But if there is ever a way to also remove these crosses on commuter rail, would be great as well. But for now, with that being said, this is the end of our newly renovated station here. Let me find a good spot to end off on. Right down here. I will see you guys soon. Be sure to follow me on twitch.tv//Dava787. It's where I mostly stream my live streams on. Also, I do have a Discord that I generally use. It's kind of locked on Twitch, but I can give it to you for free on YouTube. The link in the description. I will see you guys soon for the next video, which will most likely be another pier video where we actually construct a pier. So with that being said, take care everybody. I will see you guys next time.